Right, I'm redoing this section again, this first piece, because daft bugger me deleted it and I can't find it anymore. Doing diffs like this. This is the P38 one. I've just done this one. We're working on it to finish it off today. But just a little few words, not words of caution, but just words of encouragement really. As we've seen when we were stripping this down and different bearings and different heights, if you follow a few rules of thumb, they're not all that difficult to do. They really aren't. They're kind of easy, providing you follow these few golden rules. 1. Use genuine Timken bearings as the manufacturer supplied. Then, if you do that, with the pinion, that's the sticky up bit that goes into here, the sticky up bit, then you shouldn't have to re-shim the pinion. Okay? That's one thing. Use genuine bearings. The second thing is never mix and match crown wheels and pinions. They are ground together, and which is why I say look at the numbers. There's a number on the back of the wheel that's ground on, and the pinion, and they're ground together at the factory. Oh, look at that yellow. They're ground together at the factory as a matching pair. Don't mix and match them up. Now, if you're going to be doing a different ratio, then you've got to recalculate the pinion height. Why? Because it's new and nobody knows where it is. It's not the same as the original one. It can't be the same. Alright? But it's only within a few thousandths of an inch. It's not that much. But it's not right. You won't get a nice pattern when you finish it off. Alright? So the pinion height is kind of critical. Now me, JP, made this fancy tool here for checking heights and things like this. And just for checking, you don't have to be sophisticated like this. I mean, this is 2 steel rulers from a woodworking thing and a cheap height gauge. And JP drilled and tapped this on his milling machine so it was nice and square. And we put 2 thumb screws in there. And then the end, we just ground off the end so it was nice and flat. And the reason is that these used to have a little pin on one side, made it really awkward when you turned it round because the pin would miss the pinion. But you could do exactly the same thing by using a piece of angle iron with a threaded bar and check the pinion height before you start, before you do anything. Take the crown wheel and carrier out and put it across the tops of here and here, and turn the stud bar down and lock it with 2 nuts. So it's a verification that you've got the right shimming. Because if you're like me, you have bagfuls of shims and stuff all over your bench, you might inadvertently pick up the wrong shim. Sometimes, when I've been working on these, I'll get a cable tie and put a cable tie around that with a shim so I don't forget it. Because if you're not machining the housing, which is very, very rare, and if you're just changing it to put new bearings in, or if you're changing it to put like this, an air locker or an AATB, you don't really have to change the pinion height. Alright, that's a crucial one, because unlike a Salisbury that's got shims, you can move these wheels in and out to move the crown wheel to get a nice finish for the backlash. That's important. Now, if you've ever noticed in a Land Rover book, well, apart from some books don't even mention doing like these front differentials, some of them do the rear, but it's very rare to find a front one or a back one for a 90, for example. They don't like to cover that. I don't know why. It's not voodoo, it's nothing. But the thing is that it is kind of easy to do, but you've got to follow those golden rules. Crown wheel and pinion in matching sets, original crown wheel, an original pinion, an original shim with the original bearings, like an overhaul, great, no problem at all. But the tricky bit is, like I say, getting the crown wheel in, which we'll do at the end of this section. But don't worry about it, it's not that bad. Alright? Right, let's get back to this video where I'm messing about checking the height. So I've just measured this bearing. Now in the first video we took it out and the measurement was 7592, and this is exactly the same, 7592. We haven't even moved a bit. That's in millimetres, by the way. So now I can take that out, take the dummy bearing out, press in the original race and start to put this together. So having installed the pinion, the original spacer that came with this, we've come across a little bit of a problem. Now, the new flanges, I'm holding on to that, but the new flange here that was supplied comes already with the spacer. But you can see what happens instantly when I put this on. I'm not going to tighten it down fully, but it has got the shim in it. That's locked up solid. That's locked up. I have to be careful with this because they all fall off the bloody floor. Now, if I take this off, just let that drop down. If we go to the bench here, be careful. It seems to be the dust shield is the fault one. This is 6829. This one is 7269. So it won't go in the housing. It won't go in. Now it leaves me with a bit of a conundrum. Do I switch over this dust shield and put it onto here? Maybe. But then again, is it going to fit? I don't know. Let's try it. So I put on the new flange the dust shield off the old one, and this doesn't need a spacer, so let's fit this back in and put the old nut back on. So that's in there. We'll put the old nut on. We'll give them a quick whiz up. That's too tight. That's too tight. Yeah, that's going to burn the bearing out. So we need a thicker shim. Now the problem is, where the hell am I going to find one from? I don't know. Oh, I forgot some. I might have some. Right, so I put the shim on the pinion. I've now got the bearing. Again, they're all nicely oiled up or lubed up. Got the shim, the flange with the different oil dust cover. We're going to nip that up. That's tight. That's tight. Tight, tight, tight. Shouldn't be that tight. Oh no, it's too tight. We have to find something thicker. Let me see. I found a bag of Ashcroft shims. Oh, happy day. This is the beauty about this kit, because it comes in incremental sizes, so we can get the size exactly what we want. So we're going to put our original shim in, plus something a bit thicker. Now, by law of averages and things like that, it should be exactly the same. So I've just rough guessed that. I don't know what it's going to be like. We want to make sure that that dust cover is not hitting. Now that one is too thick. See? See it's moving? Okay. So now we want the original plus something a bit thinner. It's always sometimes easier to put a random one in and then see where you're going. You could go thicker or thinner, but we know on this one it has to go a bit thinner. It isn't much, much at all. So that one came in at 0.97. .32. No play on it, but remember these have got to be preloaded up because they're new bearings. Bearings will bed themselves in, especially taper bearings. So I'm going to take that one out, measure it again and put something a bit thinner. Right, I've got that feeling pretty nice. Just about right. Right, it says here in the book of words, it says the pinion flange nut tightened to a torque of 6.9 to 16.5 kilograms force per metre, or 70 to 120 foot-pounds. That's a bit vague, isn't it? Anyway, we've rattled it up. Oh, wait a minute, 95 to 163 newton metres. What a wide range, eh? Bloody hell. Anyway, the force required to turn the pinion shaft should be within 23 to 40 kilograms 4 centimetres. I don't know what these Napoleonic measurements are. No wonder he kept losing wars, old Napoleon. 20 to 35 inch-pounds. That's more like it. Because here is an inch-pound thing, whatever it's called. So what we're going to do is test it. I'm going to stand square onto it. And that is 8. So what we need to do is reduce that shim and put a bit more torque onto it. Back soon, got to change battery. Right, we've reset that. Put a couple of little thin shims in and we've got it down to 20 inch-pounds. And that feels nice. That feels really nice. So what we're going to do now is take that apart and we're going to put the oil seal in. Right, now that we've got the pinion in here, I've put it back onto the stand so it's pointing vertical so we can get this set up. I really recommend you take a few minutes to make some sort of a stand to put your diff on so you can make it this way or that way, because it saves you so much of a struggle. It really is a mess about trying to do this, you know, freehand. Oilstone. Now we're going to put some brake cleaner, or alleged brake cleaner, in the holes, the threads. Clean them all out. Alleged brake cleaner out of there. Oh, that's my compressor coming out. I'm going to fit this into here, so I'm just going to give this a last clean up. And just gently push that down. Now, where on earth did I put the bolts? 12.9, so they're good grade bolts. It doesn't have to burn well, paper towel when it's got brake cleaner on. You get sparks from 1,000 yards, it'll take a bit. Right, that's them all done. I'll just give them a quick clean up. Okay, see, look, that's an oily bolt. See the oil come off there? This stuff. I'm sick of saying that stuff's crap. It really is crap. It doesn't evaporate like the old stuff did. So never mind. This is why I've cleaned these off, because we have to pull this onto the differential. What we're going to do is, we're not quite online there. I think these are, I've got a feeling that these are 3/8 UNF, so I'm just going to get 2 long ones so it can be a guide. Once this is pressed down, it's a hell of a job trying to get it, you know, to line up. Because you can't really twist it, there's not enough room to twist it. Now we've got to keep those bearings on there. They were already pre-fitted. We've got to clean them up before we put them on. But, that's tight onto there. This gun's on its lowest setting and I'm not going to tighten them down with that, it's just to get that set down. So what we need is a Loctite and a marker pen. Perhaps you can see here I've got that pulled up now, and I've written 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and then where's 4? 4, 4, 5, 5. So we're going to do them evenly. It's easy to write them on the crown wheel, then you know which ones you've done. So we're going to spin them down by hand. We're not going to use an impact on these. No, we're going to use our digital. Slow pulling down. I'll continue with this. That's the technique to do it. Do them evenly. So now we put 2 and 2 in, and we'll come back when it's all done. So once the bolts are tightened down, we'll just double check them. See what I mean? Just double check them. So you get a bit more on that. Still on 58. So it was the first ones that were going a bit funny. There we go. Now we can put the differential in the housing. That'd be fun, won't it?